Hi there, everyone. Good morning again. Um, I was just thinking about stuff that's going on in my life right now, and it made me think of when I was in primary school, junior. I think that is in the States, junior school. I was bullied a lot, so I was one who was very aggressive. I didn't take very kindly to bullying, so I would always get involved in fist fights if someone said something nasty to me, or I was chubby growing up, so I was, my weight was made fun of. I had a lot of acne, that sort of thing. So I was bullied a lot at school, and instead of just taking it, I would get into a physical fight, with boys or girls, didn't matter to me. I would get in there and fist them up. And 9 times out of 10, I would be the one in the principal's office getting punishment for the fight. So I spent most of my school years in detention for defending myself, really. So it got to the point where, as I progressed as a teenager in my early 20s, of course, I met up with the narcissistic man in my life at that time, and I lived with him for 8 years. And I got to the point where, because I was always punished for defending myself, I stopped defending myself. So I got into this relationship with this man. And of course, years and years later, I found out that he was also a narcissist. I would take the abuse, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, and just think, well, I will probably be punished more if I defend myself. So I'll just go with the flow. But of course, needless to say, at some point it gets to be too much, and you choose to break that cycle of abuse. So I thought this was the reason why I wanted to share this with you. Is I think this is what so many of us do. When we are the codependent or the empath, if we are punished for reacting a certain way, as in my case, punished for defending myself, at some point we think of a new way to cope. So my new way of coping was just to take on the abuse and not say anything about it. And of course, when I did stop the abuse, when the relationship ended, I had good relationships after that. I sort of came into my own. But then again, my boat was rocked years later again when I met up with this narcissistic ex-friend. And of course, then the abuse continued. So sometimes we have to go through a lesson very many times in order to get the lesson and to do things differently, to transform our belief system. My belief in the relationship with this man was that if I just be silent, the abuse will stop. If I don't stand up for myself, if I don't defend myself, the abuse will stop. Well, that was my belief, and it got to the point where I realized my belief was not working for me, so I had to make a different choice in order to get out of the abuse. And again, with the ex-friend, that at least did not last as long. The friendship was only for about 4 years. And again, I came to the realization, Petra, what you are doing, your coping mechanism is just not working for you. So you need to change that. And that is when I went no contact. And thank goodness it has been almost a year now. And I don't intend to allow any more narcissists into my life. So again, you have to go through the lessons. Sometimes you have to go through the lessons several times in order to get it, in order to implement a new belief system. It's all about changing your belief system, believing that your truth is the truth, loving yourself, having enough compassion for yourself to make a different choice in order to stop the cycle of abuse, in order to value yourself, because that is what it is all about. If you do not value yourself, if you do not hold yourself in high esteem, it makes it all the more easier for narcissistic personalities to come into your life and create havoc. So I just wanted to share that lesson with you, because I've spoken of it in previous videos, but I just want to put the emphasis on that it is so important to do the inner work, to start having compassion for yourself, to trust your own emotions. That is what emotional intelligence is all about. Acknowledging your emotions, trusting them, and then seeing how to transform it so that you create a new belief system for yourself in order to protect yourself in a loving way. So, having said that, just thinking back on the bullying that I went through school, cowards and bullies, and we now call them narcissists, have this very nice, nasty thing going on. So they will be nice to you when there are others around. This was in my case at school. Very nice to me when there were other children around, when there were teachers around. And as soon as the children or teachers were out of hearing range, that is when the abuse would start. So this whole nice, nasty thing going on. And that is the same thing that happens to us when we are involved with narcissists, is that they have this niceness about them. This is why we fall for them. The fake charm, the friendliness, when there are others around, but behind closed doors, the nasty comes out. So they are con artists. They really are. They con the world. They have conned you into believing that you are dealing with someone who has the same values as you, the same interests, the same love that you can exchange with each other. Again, the chameleon, the chameleon video I made, the chameleon covert, they are con artists. They are excellent at what they do. And they have to be, because if they were not, then we would not get involved with them if they were upfront about who they truly are. Excuse me. So they're always nice, and they get nasty when they stop getting their way, when you start defending yourself, when you realize that you are so much more worthy of true love, true compassion, true intimacy. That is when the nasty gets pulled out of their bag of tricks, and this is what this is what they continue on throughout the relationship, until you get to the point where you say, I'm not taking this anymore. I will no longer accept what you are doing to me. So the nice, nasty narcissist, they put themselves in the center of their world, and this is when the nice is sort of blown out of proportion. They are so nice, so friendly, so charming. No one would believe that they are capable of such cruel and nasty and devaluing behavior. So they put themselves in the center of their world, and they expect you to do the same. That you go in and you put them in the center of your world as well. So in their fantasy, everything is about them. The whole world revolves around them. And they expect you to feel and act the same way. So, of course, we go along with this when we feel that we don't have another choice. And this is what is so devastating, because going along with them just means being abused by them. And they know this. They know they have to put on the nice show in order to be able to be nasty at a later date. So, when you start to say no, you are threatening their fantasy, threatening their inner world, threatening their existence in their mind. And this is why they feel they have to be nasty, because they are trying to grab onto you, hold onto you, in order to keep that facade going for them. And I think another valid point, in society today, we place so much value on how nice a person is, how friendly they are, how kind they are, how charming they are. And this is a good thing. You know, I think I need to explain myself more here. This is a good thing that society places this value on people. But it becomes a bad thing. It becomes a nasty thing when the real, authentic, good people, those with true integrity, they become, for them it is a disadvantage. For you and for me, it is a disadvantage when it comes to accepting the truth about the abuse, the truth about the narcissist. And this stems from the fact that, as I said, society puts this value on being nice and kind and friendly and charming. But it doesn't, it really works at our disadvantage because we want to believe in the good of others. We want to put humanity up on a pedestal. And, you know, when in our mind, when that is not the case, when we have to come to terms with the fact that, yes, there are evil and wicked and nasty people around us. They are in our schools, they are in our government, they are in our families, in our friendships, they are in all walks of life. And we have a hard time grasping this fact. You know, it's if you just take what's going on in the world today, all the hatred, all the wickedness, all the abuse that is going on a daily basis. You know, I remember, and I'm sure you can also relate to this, whenever you turn on the morning news, all you really see is the wickedness and the meanness and the evil stuff going on in the world today. And I got to a point where I couldn't handle that anymore, so I refused to watch any more daily news. I wouldn't even have the television on. But, you know, that is also being in denial. I think when you are, and I'm just using this as an example, when you are into spirituality, when you try and integrate it into your life, there are some people who have this certain level of spirituality that they believe that they are separate from the rest of the world. So they choose to not look at the wickedness going on through the media. They don't want to turn on their televisions to see what's going on in the world. I believe that that is a form of denial. We do not have to do that. Yes, it is good to know what is going on in the world. You have to be aware of what is going on in order to protect yourself, in order to know what is right from wrong. You know, we see the wickedness going on. Do not be in denial of that. Become aware of it and do whatever you need to do to protect you and your own. So this also reflects back on the narcissist. You have to become aware. And of course, all of us go through it, the cognitive dissonance, when we are, you know, when we are recovering from narcissistic abuse. We want to believe the good that they showed us, the nice that they showed us. And yet we know from our core that this is not right. Their behavior is not right. The way you are being treated, the way I was treated was just not right. So we need to become aware of that fact. You know, you see the fact. The fact is you are being abused. And the truth is you can take the steps necessary to do the inner work and to make sure that these people stay out of your lives. So what, of course, you also have to come to terms with is that you have been betrayed by the narcissist. You have believed in their nice nasty all along. And when it comes to the point where the nice is sort of thrown to the curb and only the nasty is shown to you, this is a serious moment of betrayal. And I don't know if you can remember the moment when you realized, when you got the full realization of the fact that you had been betrayed by this person whom you allowed into your home, allowed into your life, into your heart space, into your thoughts, into your intimate moments. You allowed them in and they betrayed you. So this is what we all have to deal with. You know, betrayal is really painful. But the sooner, again, as I've just said in the video that I just put up, the sooner you come to terms with the facts of the situation, the reality. Yes, you were betrayed. Yes, you were dealing with someone who has the nice, nasty thing going on. The sooner you come to terms, face that truth, face that reality, the sooner you can heal from this. So stop using the coping mechanism of getting through this, and start being honest with yourself about what it is that you need to change in your behavior, the way you see, the way you view yourself. Once you change those views, you will become more confident. You will have more trust in your own intuition. And this is what is going to allow you to transcend the abuse and to be full and whole again within your own person, within your own right. That is what we need to remember at all costs. So I hope that it sheds some light on the duality, as one of the viewers said, the duality that you go through of wanting to go back to narcissist, holding on to hope. You've been thrown back and forth in this cognitive dissonance. You want to believe about the good. You want to believe the lies that were told to you, and yet on the other hand, you want to stop the abuse. So it's all about making that choice. And yes, it is a process. Yes, you will get there, but it does require a lot of introspection on your part and allowing yourself to heal. That is what it is really all about. So I hope this video has helped. Please share it with someone if you think that it could help them. Thank you all again for the subscribing and the sending of emails, and I look forward to speaking to you all again very soon. Have a great week and love yourself through this. Bye for now.